Today I will be demonstrating for you how the ZOLL AED3 Wi-Fi connected self-test statuses are reported to AED Navigator and where they can be viewed. So once you're logged into AED Navigator, from your left-hand navigation, you'll click from Organization to Organization Details, select the pen and paper icon for your organization, and then click on the AEDs icon to get a list of your AEDs here once you've done so. From the other AED Navigator demonstration, you will have seen that the 30-day inspection history and the 180-day test history links are where you can retrieve archived inspection and AED test logs. The Wi-Fi connected self-tests are nestled here under the 30-day inspection history. So for any AED you're interested in looking at, click on that link, and then you'll scroll down. You'll have your AED inspection history here, and then down below your Wi-Fi reported self-tests. So the way this system works is that the most recent self-test reported will be the top row in this data table. And if all values remain the same between self-tests, we're talking about things like battery capacity, battery expiration date, electrode pad expiration date. If those remain unchanged between self-tests and your AED is running those weekly, then there's going to be no new rows here. We're just going to update this last fetch date. When any of those values change, you will get a new data record. So as you can see, we have different battery capacity values here. So we have different records for each of those. But as long as everything stays the same, we're just going to repopulate the last fetch date, and that is being ran weekly. To view the values from these self-tests, we can click the View link. And here is what the AED is self-reporting after it tests itself. So the ones that are really important here are going to be battery capacity. That's the percentage battery remaining, predicted battery expiration date, the type of electrode pads that are currently installed in the AED, and the expiration date of those installed electrode pads. This is really important. This is the last self-test date. So if this date is not within the last week or so, it means that your AED is not connecting to the Wi-Fi router. So you should be seeing this updating weekly. Every week you should have a last self-test date. Otherwise, check that your AED is connecting with Wi-Fi on a weekly basis. You're bringing it back to the router. If it's a mobile unit, if it's a stationary unit, you're going to want to test that Wi-Fi connection. This is how often the AED is testing itself. Standard is 7 days. The readiness indicator is going to be the presence of the green check mark in the status indication window. And we want to see a false value here. We don't want to see any self-test errors. So if any of these values flag a critical action, you will get an email. We will get an email to follow up with you. And then we'll make sure that your AED gets troubleshooted and serviced accordingly.